Boston today. We have a couple special guests joining us on the set. We have Chrissy Fraser from the Mount Washington Observatory with friend Ethan. Good morning to you both.
Good morning.
How's it going?
Great.
Good.
Getting a little chilly out there.
Well, I was going to say, there's some snow in the forecast. You might be going like this because Observatory, you guys are known for the weather.
Well, I didn't, shame on me for not looking today, but yesterday I heard a report from Mike Carmen that they're thinking today's going to be the potentially like a sustainable 100-mile-per-hour wind when they go out and they do the Century Club thing, and which is a little crazy because, I mean, I've been up there before in like 70, 80-mile-per-hour winds, and that's like overwhelming as it is.
Well, there's nothing protecting you up there, and especially with the weather being what it will be. It's freezing fog now with icy conditions on the ground, and then you add in 6 to 12 inches of snowfall potential for the top of Mount Washington, and it's what they go up there for. I mean, these people love weather.
Extreme weather.
When it gets crazy like that, they're like, ooh.
That's why why they're there.
Well, the nice thing though is that the observatory did is that for folks that don't have the mountaineering skills to do it, you have the Discovery Center right down here in North Conway, which allows a lot of people to experience the top of Mount Washington without the dangers, you know, that go associated with the world's worst recorded weather.
Yep, and some weather, you know, you get to explore sort of some of the weather instruments, and sort of, you get a little sense of the shaky shack, which is when that with sort of a replication of the highest wind, but it's, you know, obviously doesn't get up to a 231-mile-per-hour wind. And
it's great for kids.
It gives you a really fun sense. Yeah,
and I would have to say though, use your discretion, because I remember when I had my littlest one in there, it was pretty extreme. Like he was like, I think I want to get out now, because it does shake, it does make noises, and but you can always exit. It's right there. But you have a lot of interactive exhibits there. And Ethan, you've been into the Discovery Center before, right?
Yes.
And now, what's your favorite?
I like the cannon where you push it and the wind comes out.
The air cannon, yeah. This thing it's huge to begin with. It has this like I don't know what you call it, a membrane, and boom, and it sends this column of air. And what does it hit?
A little target on the other side of the room.
It's like a target, but it has all those like shiny, sparkly things that move when you hit the air, and you can move it too, right? The air cannon, so you can fire it away.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Now, what else is in there that you like?
There's a green screen. You can pretend to be like a weather forecaster.
Well, maybe we should put you on the spot here. We actually, I'm just kidding. I won't freak you out. You know what I like too? I like the indoor tornado.
Yeah,
what is that
really
called?
The mist. I don't know.
It's like the mist cyclone, something or other. But
actually,
you can
even Ethan's classroom. So Ethan's goes to the Bartlett School, and his school did one of the educational outreach programs which we offer, which we have distance learning, we have educational outreach for like the more local community schools. So like his classroom came and they did a session, like a whole thing on weather. So each of them got up and presented in front of the green screen.
Really?
It was really fun.
Did you do that?
Yeah.
Awesome. So I'm going to have to be nervous for my job here, huh? In a couple years, you're going to be like doing the green screen. You're going to knock it out of the park, I can tell. That's awesome. So for the general public, though, they can get into the Discovery Center when?
Yep. It's open daily 10 to 5.
Okay.
So it's, with the exception of, I think, Thanksgiving and Christmas, New Year's Day, like the basic holidays like that. But otherwise, it's open year-round.
Awesome. And it's still free, but donations are appreciated, correct?
Of course, always. As a nonprofit, we truly appreciate any little extra.
And there's great weather gifts in there, too.
Yeah, I mean, especially this with the holiday season, I mean, they have unique things that you don't necessarily find. I mean, there's great stuff all over the valley, but it's sort of like unique if you have like a weather geek. And
it's nice stuff.
You know. Yeah, really neat weather stations, and there's actually some great books, tons of great books, and even some really fun like educational children's sort of toys and activities and stuff. So it's a really fun little ritail sort of. You know, you don't realize it's there, but there's some great little
hidden gem, people like to say, right? So you get in there with the kids, they have a great time. They're fully involved. You guys can do a little shopping pre-holiday season and get that done. And also, let's plan ahead for the winter. For people that like to be a little bit more adventurous, you guys are offering winter trips up Mount Washington.
Right. So you know, here we are talking about the weather up on the summit, and it's in the winter. Not a lot of people get the opportunity to go to the summit unless you're a pretty experienced winter, you know, mountaineer person. So we have snowcat trips, we have day trips, we have overnight trips, and then we also have winter mountaineering trips. So if you really want to do the hiking and learn the whole the whole get up, and we offer that as well through Eastern Mountain Sports and Mooney Mountain Guides and Senate schools.
But they go through you guys?
Yep.
Okay.
And then, or we have the opportunity to do a day trip or an overnight in a snowcat. which is really, it's just such a unique experience. It's something
really
that you don't get to do really anywhere else.
Especially in the snow, and you guys have carved out the road from the snow pile, and it's just like there, and you're going up, and it's very exciting.
So it's sort of like your people. It's always like every minute is so different and interesting, and like you're kind of looking out the window. You're like, oh my! And it's spectacular. It's just this beautiful.
We're so lucky. It's right in our backyard. It's a 30-minute trip up, and you could be in wilderness.
Yeah, I mean, talk about the most unique gift you could give somebody is like a day trip
that's a great
to the summit.
point.
And so generally, like the trips go up, you gather in the morning. There's a whole outline of gear that that you want to make sure that you have proper gear, because you really most of the times it's minus God knows what for temperatures. So you really you want full cover. And,
but all that information is right on the website, and they make sure that everyone's prepared before they go up, obviously. So you have the mountaineering trips. You also have the edu trips, which is a little bit different, as you mentioned. Some of them focus not on the mountaineering aspect, but maybe photography or life on the summit or something like that.
We have one about yoga. Like you go up and they're going to do some yoga stuff up there. We have photography, awesome. And then the rest of them are sort of focused around climate. There's one about climate change, and there's they're all educational, and then there's in addition to sort of having the trip and the overnight experience and being out on the observation deck and things, you have the opportunity you have a trip leader, and then you have some classroom time where you learn about these sort of different topics.
And then you also get to spend a little time eating a meal.
And spending time with all the observers up there. You get to see where these guys live, like on this,
it's amazing.
This little remote spot.
And the building is just, the walls are so
it's
big.
Very cozy.
Yeah, it's very cozy. And there's, during the winter, it seems like a great group up there now,
awesome.
By the way, the staff. Everyone I talk to.
You have to be a little sort of adventurous and unique in character to take on that kind of opportunity and that job anyway. And so these guys they're all so interesting because they're so smart, and they're scientists, and they love the weather. They're there because it's such a unique opportunity. And
it is. Not a lot of people get to live on top of Mount Washington. You can check out some of their comments, the observers' notes, and stuff like that on the website, mountwashington.org, and beautiful pictures. And if you become a member, you actually get access to behind the scenes, secret access of time-lapse stuff.
Well, we have a new website that's going to launch in a few weeks.
Really?
We're finally going to roll that out, and that's going to be, some of that stuff is even going to be really more interesting, like our Mesnet site. So the way that you can really view all these sort of different data points and weather stations and stuff is going to be really cool.
Well, you guys are such a resource. And I have to say, I go right to you guys when I get in for my show prep, and I'm like, what's going on top of Mount Washington? You guys are the source. So thank you for that. And if folks, again, if you like more information about anything Chrissy or Ethan mentioned, you can go to the website, mountwashington.org, and it also has a section on the Weather Discovery Center right here in North Conway. So did we cover everything we needed to?
I think we're just waiting for the snow to fly.
New Year's Eve event is sold out for this year.
Sold out, yes.
There's also getting to be a list for next year. So if you want to do that, you need to get in touch soon, get your name on the list. And so that's quite popular. But
it's
what
a really
great
neat,
event.
Really cool event.
It is so cool. I'm like, someday I'll get on the list.
Not a lot of people get to spend New Year's Eve on the summit of Mount Washington.
Cheers to that. All right. Well, thank you again to you both for joining.